high spots and low shots. You know what? I'm going to say, who is my low? You know what? My low shot is going to be Cesaro.
Okay.
Even though I am being potentially a foolish optimist and saying, no, guys, it's all leading to a bigger picture. So I've got that and the Ascension winning the tag titles in my crazy fringe predictions over there.
And Emma eventually being relevant.
Oh, and Emma eventually being Divas Champion, which, thanks to an accidental theft, may not happen. So that's 3. Ever. Okay, yeah, we get it. So we got 3 things going on. But he lost.
She was on the network, or on the app tonight, by the way.
Which is more than we can say for your face. Sorry.
She was on the app, and Tom Phillips cut a really, really awful Australian accent promo.
He should be mocked.
Well, she kind of did.
Good. Anyway, Cesaro lost in quick and embarrassing fashion, at least to Dolph Ziggler, so that's why I didn't even make it a heat of the night. I do think he'll feud with Lesnar. I do think the Swiss Superman will rise again.
Just out of curiosity.
Oh, here we go.
If Cesaro would have lost the way he did to, say, Heath Slater,
I would grit my teeth, my fists would probably bleed, but I would still genuinely try and look at the bigger picture. I'd be far more annoyed. I'm not denying that, but I would still try and look at the bigger picture.
Would it have been a heat of the night?
I would try and be mature about it and say no, but I would at least use this platform to say, as a fan, it really got under my skin. But
okay, all right, I'll let that slide. Okay, go ahead.
Sweet. So yeah, Ziggler does win. He gets some momentum for his Intercontinental Championship match, which in my opinion was desperately needed. So I'm glad he got it. Still don't think it's going to result in a title win for Ziggler, but this is about Cesaro. You kind of fell short tonight. Hopefully you bounce back next week, or hell, even this Friday. We'll see what happens.
My low shot is... Are you ready for this, John?
I'm so ready.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Hello? Did you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. I did!
Seth Rollins is my low shot, because he lost to Heath Slater, just like you said you would be super annoyed about if Cesaro did. And not only did he lose to Heath Slater in a match, which kind of sucks for him, but he lost to Heath Slater in a match that he had to win in order to not let Dean Ambrose choose the stipulation for their match at SummerSlam.
And because...
And to top it all off, now his briefcase is gross.
And because, you know, you've really shown me these past few segments how much fun throwing salt in wounds can be. I mean, Seth had 15 minutes and 42 seconds to accomplish this task. You figure Dean gave him at least the first few seconds to get the pin before he came out there. And Seth instead chose to use that time to kind of mock Heath and give him a way out to walk out. So, yeah, Seth, you really screwed the pooch on this one. Now your fate is pretty much in Dean Ambrose's hands. But you know what? Given all the assaults you've perpetrated these last couple months, I really don't feel sorry for you. So, good job.
Who's your high spot?
Oh, that's an easiest one of the night, actually, the last few weeks. Stephanie McMahon.
I agree. We have a dual high spot.
And you know what, dude? I'm glad you're not even trying to play that stuff of, like, individuality. I'm glad you're co-signing with me because she deserves 2 signatures, not just one.
One for Nikki and one for Brie.
Yeah, really.
Those Steph agrees were brutal.
And I love that you call them Steph agrees. That's officially a thing. And
I thought that was already a thing.
I know. I think they just still call them pedigrees, but not anymore.
No.
Not after this episode. Yeah, she was brilliant here. She's a great heel, probably the heel right now. Ashton, you actually had a great line at the beginning of tonight's show when you said that she got the nuclear heat of the pack, of everybody who talked in the opening segment. That tells you everything you need to know, because she was sharing a ring with Triple H, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and Kane.
Yep.
And she outpopped in terms of the heat, all of them. So, yeah, Stephanie, put that feather in your cap and enjoy it because you deserve it. Great job.
There you go.
So, you don't have any other, like, secondary high spots, though, to compensate that we do have a cosign?
Heck, no. I mean, there are other people that had good nights, but nobody had a better night than Stephanie McMahon.
Completely agree. With that said, let's get into our final segment. Raw request. And I think I gave this to you last week, so I'll start off. Let's see. My Raw request. My request, find better ways to capitalize on some of your acts. Because, again, this goes into the wishful thinking I had earlier, so I think it's best to package it and make it productive in Raw Request. I mean, the New Nation is still, well, at least that's what we're calling them. They don't have a formal name yet when they do.
I hate that name for them.
I'm not a fan of it either, but it's the best name I have at the moment. So, they're still a relatively new act. I'm assuming they're going to be on Main Event tomorrow night. Again, though, that's an assumption, and you know what they say about assume. Or maybe even on SmackDown this Friday. But they should be getting more TV exposure because this does have the potential to be very interesting with three guys who I think in their own ways are very talented. I was very disappointed, again, building on the berries, that they weren't even featured tonight. I really wanted to see them. But again, that's on me. That's why I didn't make it a Heat of the Night or this and that. But I do think you could have made time for them. And more importantly, not just them, but the tag team division as a whole. You had Gold Star return to action, beating Rybaxel. Maybe have them talk in-ring about the Cosmic Key, which could have brought out the Usos, which could have brought out, Kofi, Kof capital E, Kofi and Big E, with Woods. And we could have our multi-team title events for SummerSlam. You have 3 hours to do this, so rather than replaying video packages or shilling the network or doing this and that, continue this rotation mentality that we thought was starting and, give these guys a spot. Give them something to do. It's great that Cena, Sheamus, and who else was in there? Oh, yeah, RVD. RVD weren't there, but
RVD was there. He just didn't end up having a match.
Yeah, he didn't end up having a match.
He had his entrance and everything. He was out there. He was ready. He just, no.
Right. But at the same time, when you fill that void with the same old stuff, it's not really creating anything new. It's not even really breaking any new ground. So, yeah, try and orchestrate some of your acts better. Try and find a way to work your 3 hours better, I think, and from a roster perspective, is my Raw request.
All right. I like it. I dig it. My Raw request is to find more creative ways to plug the network.
Perfect. You don't even really need to expound upon that.
I have given you so many things to work with, WWE. Listen to TwitWow and pick one.
Yeah. I mean,
mostly just listen to TwitWow, though.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you want to. So, I mean, we're just giving you the perfect out now. So when you're at work and you have it on your computer and they're saying, "What are you doing?" You could just boldly say, "Saving the product." But, that said, after that grandiose pat on the back, Ashton, do you have anything else you want to say about this Raw?
I liked the Raw. Didn't love it, liked it, but I think that anybody that's really angry or complaining about this Raw seriously needs to sort out their priorities because it was fun. It wasn't offensive. It wasn't obnoxious. It wasn't terrible. If you can get past the constant shilling of the network, it was enjoyable.
I agree. Again, the word I used was average. I stick with it.
I say above average, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought
because if I was doing my scale of 1 to 10, average would be 5.
Right.
And I gave this like a 7, 7.5, so above average.
Yeah. Again, some moments of brilliance, for sure. But, I don't know, it wasn't fully engaged with the show, but, that was me. But again, I agree with you. Anybody who is very, vitriolic with this Raw, very, very hateful, saying, "Oh, I'm tearing this to shreds, this and that." I mean, that's your prerogative, and I'm not going to stop you from doing it, but I don't really see what was so offensive about the show or so bad to evoke that kind of reaction. So that's just me. But with that said, this has been Raw. This has been TwitWow, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment and subscribe on YouTube, discuss on Pweetoff, and we will see you again for our NXT review, where, if I'm not mistaken, we see the beginnings of the NXT Tag Team Championship Tournament.